From the bottom to the top, that's a wrap. That's a wrap, that's a wrap. Hello there. What a great top you have. Hi, I'm Liz, and today I'm gonna make two of these adorable little 1950s wrap tops. This is the Claire wrap top from Subversive Femme on Etsy. It is a PDF pattern. Size is medium, and since it's a wrap top and the shoulders tie too, it's pretty adjustable. So let's get started. I'm going to begin by sewing the darts, as always. These are actually curved darts, which should give a nice fit. But you know what, before I stitch this all the way, I'm gonna actually baste it to just see if I like the dart placement. I think it's fine once I have a bra on. We're gonna go with it. So I'm gonna finish sewing the darts, the other front piece, the back pieces, and I'm gonna press. So I will be back when that is done. Just kidding, before I go and press everything, I'm actually gonna sew the two front pieces together right at the center seam, matching up my notches. Then I'll go press everything. Okay, I left this circle open, or I left the seam open above this circle right here. I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do, but I know this needs to be bound with bias tape, so rather than sewing all the way up, I left it open. We'll see if that was the right thing to do. Now I will go and press. Alrighty, all pressed. Now I need to sew the back and the front together at the sides. However, I am going to actually overlock all my raw edges really quick. Yay, so now I'm going to press these seams open, and then I'm gonna do the facings for these little shoulder ties. And what I need to do is finish off these bottom edges here, and I'm gonna overlock and then fold up and then stitch. And then I will sew those to the shirt ties, the blouse ties, right sides together. And I'll turn and I'll press and you'll see. All right, they're all overlocked, so now I'm gonna go press them really quick. And now, all that's left is to just sew right around there, like that. All right, now I just have to turn these, and I'm going to do the folding thing where I basically fold this point instead of clipping it. Looks pretty sharp, if you ask me. Bam. All right, so now I'm going to put some bias binding on this armhole seam, this back piece on both sides, and one on the front too. I'm gonna stitch that on with my machine and then fold it down and stitch by hand. Let's do it. Okay, so actually I realized, so I stitched about 1/8 of an inch from the edge here. So then if I folded it once, it would only be 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, but if I fold it again, it's about 5/8. So it's actually gonna look like that on the inside. You're not gonna be able to see the bias binding. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll press and then I'll hand stitch after I sew all the other bias binding onto the shirt. Well, I got some not great news. I wouldn't call it bad news, but so basically I just wanted to remind you all to check the seam allowance before you sew something, unlike me. I did not see the seam allowance is actually 1/2 inch, not 5/8. It's not a huge difference, so I'm okay, but if you make this pattern, just remember to do that. So I'm almost done with my shirt. It just needs the little waist ties and to finish up the bottom hem. So let me show you what I did. I hand sewed all of the seam binding down. This also probably would have been a little easier if I didn't have to, so I thought, fold this over twice. So, but you know what, it's fine. It's all good. Not a big deal. I will fix it for my black version. Anyway, I am going to sew the little waist ties, right sides together, 1/2 inch. Let's do it. Pretty sharp. I don't know if you can see it, but it is sharp, I swear. So I'm gonna go press these once I turn the other one, and then I am going to sew it to the sides of my shirt. So I will be right back. At an angle. And repeat for the other side. And now what we're going to do is fold that part that we just sewed up, and in case, take that back. How are we gonna do this? Oh, you know what? We have to finish this first. So I'm gonna serge this raw edge here, and then I'm gonna press it. I'll show you. All right, so I just serged that bottom edge, and I'm going to press it like that. And now I'm going to actually stitch it down with my machine. All right, now what I need to do is, I've got my waist ties like that, right? Got my waist ties facing inwards towards the front of the shirt. I'm going to fold this little bit up here and then stitch there, and that basically creates a facing that I will then hand sew. So I'm gonna stitch right along here. Like so. Many errors of hand sewing later. Alrighty, so I hope that this was helpful. If you decide to make this Claire wrap top, please let me know and let me know how it goes. I think it was really pretty easy. The only thing to note is just make sure you use a 1/2 inch seam allowance and not 5/8 of an inch. It's always good, especially with these vintage patterns, to check your seam allowance, because sometimes it's not 5/8 of an inch and then it could be a little bit off. Like this one, it's slightly less comfortable in the arm thigh than this one. So just make sure you do that. One other thing I might try for my next iteration of this is to add a little hole, a little slit in the side seam so that when it crosses over, it can kind of feed through, one of them can kind of feed through. Just because I really like having that so that it's not having to cross over and kind of get bunched up. There's a little bit of a potential for that. I mean, so far I haven't really had much of a problem, but I think that including a little slit there in the side seam would probably be beneficial. I think that this is a perfect dress up, dress down top, just like the keyhole blouse I made in my last capsule video. If you're interested in seeing more of my capsule wardrobe plans, then check out this video. I always forget which side to point to. This side? I don't know. I think that you might be seeing this black one again very soon. I have plans to make a different kind of capsule video. So let me know what you think. Which one do you prefer? What kind of fabric would you make this cute little top in? I think it'd be so cute in gingham. In fact, I have some gingham left and I might make one to go with my gingham shorts. So that would be kind of a bonus capsule top, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. So if you want to continue following along with my wardrobe making journey and other shenanigans, then follow me on Instagram. I'm at Liz Von Villas on there. And my Facebook group is Vintage Sewing with Liz. I would love to have you. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.